Hey there, my name is Phoenix, and welcome to a Let's Play of Disturbed. It's a free game on Steam. You can go and play it anytime. There will be a link for it below. And this is a blind playthrough. I've never played this before. So let's get started. Another dull day passes as you struggle to manage your failing farm. Your crops are beginning to wilt, and your cow is sick. For some time the land has been very quiet. The air has grown thick and foul. Each passing day you feel more uncertain if things will ever return to how they were before. Perhaps it is up to you. You've made up your mind. You are going to do something about it. You stand in front of your humble home, pondering what you should do next. Let's go in the house and check it out. Entering the house, you feel a subtle uneasiness as if the growing blight outside has penetrated the walls of your safe haven. From what you see, however, everything is the same as you left it. Perhaps this may be a good time to just lay in bed and wish that your problems will just go away. You fight the notion, but the temptation is still there. Okay, that is depression. Let's see what's in the chest. You open the chest and find nothing more than a pile of papers. It seems you have less valuables than you anticipated. You close the chest. Dear Journal, another usual day on the farm. The crops are growing with good health. Bethane is also doing quite well. Never disappointed with the milk she provides. If things continue to go well, I may be able to invest in more animals. A farmer can only be so social with a cow. Dear Journal, today has been an unfortunate day. Somebody broke into my shed and stole some things. I usually don't mind if somebody steals a bite to eat from the garden, but to take my equipment? Well, I put a lock on the door and hid the key. Nobody will ever get into my stuff again. Dear Journal, I woke one night to a foul smell I have never come across before. I took a step outside to see what I could find, but I found nothing after searching about the farm. Whatever it is, it must be bad. I should make a trip into the city to see what this is about. Maybe something went under the shed and died? That's happened to me before. My God, did it take weeks for the scent to go away. Okay, that's... Let's go into the shed. You attempt to open the shed door, but the door won't budge. You remember locking it some time ago, but you can't remember what you did with the key. Oh, that's right. He hid the key. Maybe it's in the crops. A path divides the crops you have labored so hard to prosper these past months. A penetrating odor reminds you that your plants are decaying away, and time is running short. Let's go into the pen. Oh, I was right. A toxic fume burns your nose as you enter the pen. Your poor cow lays lifeless on the ground as a growing blight slowly begins to consume her body. You feel sick to your stomach as you stand here, especially as you stare at the black mushrooms that dot the ground. Yeah, I was right. It was a dead animal. Inspect the water. You inspect the water, looking for anything abnormal. You notice that the water has a dark consistency to it. Dropping a stone into it, black particles from the bottom swirl about like a thunderstorm. Your face shrivels in disgust. Gotta save here. Okay. Because I want to grab a mushroom, and I'm hoping it's only poisonous and not poisonous I'm hoping it's okay to touch, but knowing it's not okay to eat. Ah, dang it. You kneel down and grab a mushroom. As you begin to rip it out of the ground, a cloud of spores spray from the mushroom. Your hands begin to burn and melt as you observe them. Slowly, your body shrivels up into a dark, moist consistency as the poison spreads. Dang it. You die, eventually, after crawling about on the ground. Your adventure ends here. So just by touch, man. How would I get rid of them then? Knowing that the cows suffered, man. Alright, let's go to load. Leave a pen. Follow the path. You continue down the trail for a while until you see a cave off in the distance. You pause, questioning if there would be something helpful in there. I doubt it. You know, I saw a screenshot of a spider. So either a spider or a bear is in here. I did a quick save, so let's go into the cave. There is a faint whistle from the wind passing between the rocks. The temperature significantly cools as you enter the cave. You notice that there is a different smell, but you welcome it, comparing it to the deathly blight found outside. Let's go in. Ah, bear! Told you. Before you take your next step, a large bear emerges from the darkness. You realize that you have made a terrible mistake, even thinking that something helpful can be in here. Let's fight it. Come at me, bro! You scan the ground and notice that there are numerous rocks you can grab and to throw at the bear. You begin to do so as the bear approaches you. One after the other, you throw the rocks as hard as you can. The bear charges at you as you bend over to grab another rock, tackling you to the ground. The bear bites into your neck. Your body quickly goes limp and you die. Your adventure ends here. Yeah, I'm pretty much just trying to get the achievements and find all the deaths. Or just explore all the pathways and options that I have. Okay, that's quick load. Alright, I want to see what would happen if we run away from the bear rather than fight it. Run away! The moment you turn to run, the bear roars with a deep growl, shaking the loose stones about the cave. All you can think about is making... Well, you make it to the trail, then the bear catches up to you, tackling you to the ground. You scream in pain as the bear rips you apart. Your adventure ends here. Oh, dang it. Okay, let's leave the pen. Oh well, at least I didn't go too far in. Continue down the path. You come to a stop as you stumble upon a broken wagon. You look about the mess and find bits of food and clothes scattered around the scene. Looks like it was attacked or crashed. You notice a key on the ground. You pick up the key and continue on your way. Sometimes I double click accidentally and that's why it skips forward. After what felt like an hour or two, you reach a bridge. Nearby, the path is a small shack similar to the house you have on the farm. Let's just save there, and then I'll do the rest with quick saves. Ooh, wait a minute. What's auto? Okay. The man that lives here is a kind fellow from what you recall. Maybe he's home. Inspect the shop. You walk toward the structure and knock on the door. You scratch the back of your head, figuring that the person that lives here is currently occupied, if not elsewhere. You remember picking up a key from the wagon, and you use it on the door. The door unlocks. You decide to help yourself in. Uh-oh. Observing the empty room, you realize something terrible must have taken place here. The room is a wreck, just like the wagon. You are overcome with fear as you think of the men that used to dwell here. You pick up the book and start to flip through the pages. You discover that this is a journal. Reading a passage or two can't hurt. Today's trading went smoothly, thank goodness. What I am thrilled most about, however, is that one of my buddies mentioned to me at the conclusion of our day. Apparently, there is a pond nearby that has some of the biggest fish in the region. With a good catch, I can make enough to move things forward. I was caught off guard when he mentioned that nobody has been able to catch any from there. I guess your typical fishing rod won't do the trick. But what can be done about it then? Something to be intrigued about, I suppose. Maybe use a fishing net? These past couple weeks have been really rough for me. My trading business has gone under and I have lost nearly everything I own. This has pushed me to the extremes. But that can be helped now. I am leaving this place forever, never to return. The land is dying and there is nothing but darkness here. Anyone reading this should leave while they can. You can't find a name to give this man, but regardless of the name, you got chills running down your spine. I hope he's not keeping anything in there. You observe the trapdoor and notice a lock keeping it closed. With the key, you unlock the hatch and get it open. Without thinking, you travel downward. Walking down the steps leading below, the air attacks your body with piercing cold. You notice immediately that there is a woman chained to the wall. She doesn't seem to notice you as you study her. You feel darkness around you as you stay in this awful place. Why would he have her locked up here? You tremble as you try to form words in your mouth. You there! Let me out of here! The pressure of such demand makes you freeze. You take a moment to think about the situation before you respond. What got you locked up to begin with? You'll never believe me, even if I told you the truth. Something brought you here. Please, have mercy on me. Let's see. You approach the woman and unlock the shackles that bind her. As her arms become free, she moans in pain. Oh, thank you so much. The woman struggles to regain her strength, but starts to stand up on her own. As she gets up, she turns toward you. I will now do you a favor. What seemed to be the face of a helpless woman disappears as a horrible image manifests itself before you. You feel the chilling grip of bone hands lock onto your arms. Energy flees from your body and you fall to your knees. You feel the essence of your life slip away as everything goes black. It is unfortunate that your journey ends here. Let me get down to her and then choose the other option. Wait, what? Oh, right. Put the trapdoor. Let's talk to her. No, I will not. No! Don't go! With nothing else to interact with, you make your way up the stairs. As you exit, you can hear the women laugh behind you. The voice causes the shack to shake. You leave the shack as fast as you could. You leave the shack and cross the bridge before something bad happens. You cross the bridge safely and continue down the trail. After all that has happened, you feel that you should take a moment to rest. You find a spot under a tree and sit down. Getting comfortable, you tilt your head back against the tree and gaze into the sky. As you pick at the grass blades in your reach, the ground begins to shake. Before you can get up, the roots from below sprout from the ground and wrap around your legs. You turn around to see his large, angry face looking back at you. Your jaw drops in horror. No sound or scream escapes your tongue as the tightening grip of the roots squeeze what hair you have is left from your body. Your adventure ends here. Nature always wins. Wait. Oh, okay, it's right. Wait. Yeah, okay. Take a nap. Your eyes close and your body relaxes. You fall asleep within seconds. As your mind wanders, you see a blurry image. Details emerge as you gaze. You wonder who this might be. A bad feeling then overcomes you, and you realize who this is. You try to wake yourself up. You wake up and jump to your feet, looking about yourself and your surroundings. All seems well. You can't help but feel fearful that something bad will happen to you if you stay here. Moving forward seems like the only logical option now. You reach a point where the trail splits into two paths. Which way should you go? Left or right? I think I should go left. Just like in Doctor Who. Go left. After continuing down the path for some time, you come to a stop. You notice that there is some sort of trail that leads through the grass up toward the hill. If you had not stopped, you probably would have never noticed. Which way do you go? Sword. Following the subtle trail in the grass, you stumble upon what looks like a grave. Inspect it. You approach the grave. You look at the sword with intrigue. Ooh, is this going to turn into that dream with, like, the dead person? Before you can touch the sword, a ghostly figure appears before you. You freeze before the apparition. The sword. May I have it? The blade is cursed. I am bound here by the pain of my past. If you desire the sword, free me from it. You slowly motion for the sword. Fool! Only something of pure essence can free me. A rare hope, like a flower found in darkness. I don't think I'm pure essence, so I'm going to back away from it. You listen to the spectre and leave the sword. The figure fades out of view. You know what? I'm going to quick save and grab the sword. Can I grab it? No? Okay. Let's continue on then. You pause to see that there is a lake nearby. The trail continues on to your right. The lake might be poisoned, but let's inspect it. You step near the lake and look down into it. Quick save. Resting underwater is an orb of some sort, sitting on the bottom of the lake. There is something strange about it, as if it were calling out to you. Quick save, so let's dive in. You close your eyes and jump into the lake. You open your eyes to see the stone sitting before you. You start to make your way toward it. A large fish comes into view. It quickly notices you with its mouth stretched open. You try to leave for the surface, but the fish catches up to you. You quickly find yourself helpless before the creature. You close your eyes as the giant fish rips your body apart with its teeth. You die a very painful death. Your adventure ends here. You step near the lake and look down into it. Leave. Now is probably not the time. The faint trail comes to an end. There is a collection of stone pillars down the hill. You stand before the large stones arranged in the shape of a circle. In the center is a stone with what appears to be some sort of slot or hole. No doubt about it. Something is meant to be placed there. The orb probably is circular. Seeing that you can't do anything, you head back. You find yourself gazing over a grass field with hills rolling off into the distance. As if a trick upon your eyes, you see a unicorn run across the field. It disappears out of sight before you can do anything. Surely the unique powers of a unicorn can help you with your quest, but there is clearly something wrong. If only there was a way to charm it. Let's go back. Okay, let's go down the path. You walk for some time to find an endless field of grass. There is a stone well near the path. Let's inspect the well. You peer down the well. Other than the evident water at the bottom, there is a coin resting against the wall of the well. If possible, you feel you should go down and take the coin. Let's grab it. You lean over the edge of the well. There's no possible way you can obtain the coin by reaching for it. With this in mind, you turn and climb down the inner wall of the well. You take a few successful steps down, but your luck runs out. You misplace your foot and you fall. Tumbling about, your body clashes against the stone walls. With a single knock on the head, You lose all consciousness of your accident. With a splash, you fall into the water. Your body sinks effortlessly and you drown without realizing it. Your adventure ends here. Oh, shiny! That reminds me of my D&D character Nick. She's a gnome that loves shinies. Loves shinies. Okay. Perhaps you may obtain the coin later. You step away from the well. Walking over the hills of grass and grain, you reach the walls of Aramor. Several times a year you come here to train goods from the farm. You discover the plague that has spread to your farm has also spread all the way over here. The path before you is overrun with blight. You have come a long way, and you don't desire to turn back now. You march forward into the tainted soil. Before you realize what happened, you sink completely under the ill soil. Darkness consumes you, and your lungs struggle for air. Your body burns in pain as you suffocate and die. Your adventure ends here. Okay. You realize that you must go back. There is no way to reach the city. Alright, now this time let's go right. You reach the end of the pathway. In the distance is a tower looking over the area. A gate secures passage to the area with a wall around the property. Also of interest, there is a tree that has a hole carved into it. Inspect the tree. You approach the tree and notice the hole is big enough to fit your hand into it. Well, ain't that a trap? You look and see something shiny in the hole, as if it were metal. Feeling around with your hand, you find 3 knobs, one on the right, one centered in the middle, and one on the left. Let's press the knobs. Left. Nothing. Middle? Nothing. Right. The knobs lock in place. You wait for a moment, but nothing happens. It must be some sort of combination. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come back. You reach the end of the pathway. In the distance is a tower looking over the area. A gate secures a passage to the area with a wall around the property. Let's go to the gate. You approach the gate cautiously. Enter. Standing before the tower, your heart begins to sink. This is no doubt the birthplace of the spreading plague. There is a fountain before you which statues on your right and left. Let's inspect the fountain. There is a dark haze about the fountain. The water is black, and the smell burns with every breath. You feel a slight pull toward the fountain, as if it were calling for something. You see an old statue of an angel that has been consumed by vines of thorn. The angel is holding a book in one hand, the other one with a finger pointing up toward the sky. You feel it best to leave the statue alone. Don't blink. Before you stands an old angel statue that has broke in many areas. With one hand, the angel is holding some sort of bowl, while the other hand is hovering over the bowl. You notice that there is only 2 remaining fingers on the angel's other hand. You feel you should keep your distance and just observe the statue. Maybe it has something to do with the knobs? Like the statue on the left had one finger up, so that maybe that's the first you pressed. And the statue on the left has the second you pressed. And then the middle must be the third. So let's go try it. Inspect the tree. Press the knobs. Left. Right. Middle. The knobs lock in place. Nothing happens. Okay. Nope, I was wrong. Alright. Into the tower. You approach the door. As you reach the doorknob, an invisible barrier stops you. It must be some sort of magic. Nope, okay. Alright, I think I have to go back to the shed. All the way back. Can I go back? No? Okay, I might have to load it. Okay, let's... Yes. Alright, I will be right back. Okay, I've had to load it all the way back to this shack where I got the key. And I'm going to have to go back, so I will be back when I get to the shed. Okay, so I couldn't find a way to get back to the shed, so I'm gonna have to start a new game, which is fine, because we've already explored quite a lot of choices. So this gives me a chance to find anything in case I missed something. Can't remember what you did with the key. It said something in the diary, didn't it? And you know what? We haven't laid in the bed, but let's read the journal first. Hid the key. Nobody will ever get my stuff again. Is it... Okay. Open the chest and quick save here. Lay in bed. Lay in your bed and fall asleep to the light sound of wind blowing outside against the grass. You begin to hear whispers and chants, but you can't make anything of it. An image appears before you, a stone, glowing as if it were alive. The chants get louder as your vision grows in more detail. You reach toward the stone with your hand. As your finger makes contact, a clash of thunder rattles around you. Your clothing and skin start to flake away, like dust in the wind. The particles flow into the stone, sapping the life from your body. You feel the pain you have never experienced before, and fear begins to flood over you. You suddenly see yourself laying in bed, never to wake up again. Your adventure ends here. Okay, let's load the quick save. Here. See, I'm trying to find if I can click anywhere to find if the key is in something. No? Alright, let's go back outside. Wait. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna cheat. Sorry. Alright, so I investigated more and found that I couldn't really get a key to the shed. So that maybe that's later on, but I did find the answers for the knobs, so I can go back and press them. Let's exit. And inspect the tree. Press the knobs. Alright, left. Right. Right. The knobs lock in place. You hear the rumbling of rocks as the ground starts to shift underneath you. Everything goes dark, and you sink below the surface. The hole above you seals up, trapping you underground. You find yourself with no evident way out, but the path before you into the darkness. Your only choice is to move forward. You see 3 separate paths within the walls of the cavern. Which path do you choose? Left. Let's do left first. You cautiously make your way through the darkness. You come to a split in paths. Which way do you go? Left again. You move forward into the darkness. Oh, come on. I think I may have just went in a circle, so let's go forward. You cautiously step forward. Which way do you go? Let's go left. You hear a subtle echo of shifting rocks before you. Oh, hello. An eye appears before you as its gaze pierces the darkness. But before you can do anything, tentacles burst from the ground and grip your body. It pulls you about, but you resist as much as you can. Not sure what you can do, you continue to resist until you can think of something. Your body begins to grow weak as your strength burns away. You suddenly feel yourself pulled to the ground, and you are dragged about like a rag doll. It is not long before the creature devours your body, leaving nothing behind. Your adventure ends here. Alright, let's... Wait. What? Where's my quick save for the caves? Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. And here it is. Quick save here. So I went forward and left. Let's go right. The passageway divides before you. Where do you go? Left? 2 pathways. Let's go left again. Oh, dang it. Let's go right. I chose left. Didn't I? Alright, right here is where I chose left again. Let's go right. Ooh. As you make your way forward, you discover a large cavern. An old-looking ship rests against the edge of the lake, with debris scattered about the surrounding area. You cautiously walk down toward the ship. The air is chilling, and you fear it won't be a good idea to stay too long. The possibility of discovering something that can help you drives you to explore. You climb aboard the ship. As you take a moment to observe your surroundings, you are only welcomed by the trickle of water brushing against the wood of the ship. You move about to see where you can go. Every footstep you take feels heavy as you hear the sound of wood cracking underneath your feet. You feel the ship has been here for quite some time. You explore under the deck of the ship. Nothing but the sound of your footsteps bounce about the structure of the ship. From one room to another, you discover a kitchen. Although there is nothing unique about it, you feel you should take a moment to inspect it. Let's do the drawers first. You pull one out after the other. Finding that they have been emptied, dust spreads about the air as you disturb the rest. Checking underneath, you discover a rusty knife resting on the floor. You find that there are plenty of hardened rat droppings dotting the edge of the wall. You take the knife in hopes that you may defend yourself with it. You see a lone pot resting upon the dusty stovetop. You gaze downward and open the oven door. Nothing but ash filled the oven chamber. You close the oven door. Let's move on. You continue your lonely tour of the ship, only to find that there is nothing of use or value. I need a drink of water, hang on. You make your way back to the deck and decide to continue your search. Again, you find nothing much but empty rooms left to remain in dark solitude. You discover a door with fancy markings about the woodwork. Perhaps this is where the captain resided. You discover the room of the captain. Unlike the other parts of the ship, everything seems to have been left alone in this room. Before you rests an old wooden desk with papers and assumed belongings of the captain. There is a small bed off near the corner of the room and some chairs in the other. You have a feeling deep down that you shouldn't take anything. Other than the lamp and other objects, there is a small stack of papers in contrast to a lone paper resting by itself. Approaching the desk, you begin to inspect the papers resting on the desk. Let's check the papers first. Peering about the pages of this collective pile of documents, you realize that most of these are personal notes or journal entries. You pick a few and begin to read. Day 7. The voyage has gone quite smooth as we begin our second week away from home. The spirits of the men are high as we anticipate the discovery of new lands that lie beyond our documented knowledge. It has been my dream to accomplish something world-changing. Together we move forward with full hearts and unbreakable spirits. Day 66. It has been just over 2 months out at sea, and we have yet to discover anything new. We have suffered through many storms, and sickness has plagued the ship recently. Several of my favorite crew have passed on to the next life. I see the growing doubt in the eyes of my fellow laborers as our voyage continues day after day. Food rations have been cut in half, in fears that we may have to turn back. I dare not let myself think of failure. Those men who have lost their lives, the sacrifices to make this ship voyage possible, I cannot let them be in vain. Day 91. It has come to roughly 3 months out here on the endless blue. With much pain we have turned around. Yes, we are headed for home port. We have just enough food to make it back. I just hope we have a smooth journey back. The spirits of the crew are low and bitter due to our failure. I did not let myself get caught up in thinking of it. Truly, we did not intend for this to happen. Notice to the crew. Due to our unexpected predicament, everyone is being split up into groups of 2 and 3. Scouting assignments will be given until we find a more habitable place to settle. For now, we must do what we can. Oh. Seeing that there is little left to see, you take your leave. You make your way back to where the tunnel divides. Left. Forward. And now this is where the eye was, and I went right, so... Oh no, I went left, so let's go right. Ah, dang it. Oh, the knife! The room vibrates as you do cut, and the creature immediately leaves you alone. It takes you a moment to catch your breath. You come to a divide. Which way do you go? Let's go right. The path you walk comes to an end. Before you shines a pillar of light. The light rests on a corpse that seems to have been here for quite some time. Near the corpse stands a lone flower. For some reason you feel hope enter your heart as you gaze upon the flower. Surely this flower will ease the pain of the spectre. You approach the flower and carefully pluck it from the ground. There is something special about this flower. Light continues to pierce through the darkness from an opening above. Surely this gives you some hope that all is not lost. Seeing that there is nothing else for you here, you turn around. Now let's go left. You continue your way into the darkness. You see 3 separate paths within the wall of the cavern. So, the last of what I recorded kind of got corrupted, so I'm gonna have to play through this from the earliest point possible. So I went through the tunnels and I got the flower from the grave, and right now I found a ship. As you make your way forward, you discover a large cavern. An old-looking ship rests against the edge of the lake with debris scattered around the surrounding area. You cautiously walk down toward the ship. The air is chilling and you fear it won't be a good idea to stay too long. The possibility of discovering something that can help drives you to explore. You climb aboard the ship. As you take a moment to observe your surroundings, you are only welcomed by the trickle of water brushing against the wood of the ship. You move about to see where you can go. Every footstep you take feels heavy as you hear the sound of wood cracking under your feet. You feel the ship has been here for quite some time. You explore under the deck of the ship. Nothing but the sound of your footsteps bounce about the structure of the ship. From one room to another, you come to discover a kitchen. Although there is nothing unique about it, you feel you should take a moment to inspect it. You pull one out after the other, finding that they have been emptied. Dust spreads about the air as you disturb their rest. Checking underneath, you discover a rusty knife resting on the floor. Okay, I think this has been recorded before, because I remember getting the knife and fighting the tentacle monster with it. So I'm gonna pause here and get to that point and be right back. Which path do you choose? Let's go left. You cautiously make your way through the darkness. Go right. You struggle forward as the way before you becomes completely dark. You notice that there is a light off in the distance. You continue to make your way forward. Eventually, you make it into some sort of concrete room. Turning around, you see a hole in the wall where you came from. Your guess is that it wasn't part of the initial design. You turn around to see a door. There being little to nothing in the room, you decide to move on through the doorway. You find yourself in what looks like a basement. You turn about to discover that in each direction there is a door. Boxes of supplies and debris litter the floor and corners of the room. You notice that there are several markings on the doors and floor, some of which scare you. You got a bad feeling about this place. Let's look in the supplies. You walk around the room, browsing through the dust-covered storage. You find some rope in one of the boxes. It feels strong to the touch and has minimal wear. You decide to take the rope. I think I can use that rope to get down the well to get the coin. Maybe. If I can get all the way back there, but I might need to just go through the tower. Okay, this is where I came from. Actually, yeah. Let me see if I can get back to the well, and I will get back to you. I could only go back to where the tunnels split in that cave, the 3 separate paths, so I am going to have to just go forward and find a different way back to the well and possibly the farm too. Let's do the middle door. You enter a room full of metal cages. Before you is a hallway marked with questionable markings. You don't like the feeling you have about this place. Whatever was in these cages did not like to be locked up. You notice that there is an animal cage on the left of the room, but from the dark stains on its fur, it is dead. You cautiously walk down the hallway, entering a room with 2 cell doors. Before you can do anything, a large hound leaps in front of you. The beast doesn't look very vicious, but one wrong move can surely be the end of you. You pull out the knife and prepare for an attack. The dog reacts and starts to growl at you. The hound dashes at you and sinks his teeth into you, even with the knife. You merely cut the beast before it knocks the knife out of your hand. You don't survive long and die a painful death. I think we've gotten this death before. I think it's this one. Yep, this one. So let's go to the right. You enter a small room. There is a large cauldron in the center of the room with wood resting beneath. There is nothing on the shelves, as if someone cleaned out this place. You look into the pot, but find nothing in it. With nothing else to see, you exit the room. So let's go to the door behind us. You walk up the steps. You enter a large room. The air is polluted with dust, and spiderweb cover the walls and ceiling. Where should you go now? Okay, so I know the far door over here has a spider in it. So let's go upstairs first. You discover what looks like a private library. There is a passageway before you with bookcases on the left and right. Browse the books. You take a moment to look at the books. Some of them catch your eye. You flip around until something grabs your attention. Pillars of Stone. Years before current times, there were unique religious practices that revolved the Stonehenge. It is said that these stones are lined up in a special way and often organized in a circular pattern. Organizing the stones this way unlocks an ancient power researchers still have trouble understanding. In the middle of the circle would be a stone or two for the keystone to rest on. This is the great mystery of this ancient practice. From ancient records, it is written that the energies from the surrounding stones channel their power into the keystone. You stop reading because the next page of the book has been torn out. Book abuse. There is a bent page marking a section of the book. You turn to it. The art of charming is not necessarily limited to the instrument, but how the musician goes about playing given instrument. Some are definitely easier to use than others, and for a skill such as this, there are a few instruments recommended. The harp is one of these recommended instruments. From vicious dogs to shy unicorns, the soothing voice of the harp can calm the troubled heart. Of course, not all creatures can fall for this simple trick, but it can mean the difference between life and death in some situations. Flipping through the pages, there is one in particular that has ink markings all over it. Raw energy is a powerful substance not to be trifled with. It is merely myth that such energies exist. One does not simply stumble upon a pillar of godly power, even if such a fate is yours. Bare hands cannot contain the force. It must be bent and channeled into a specifically crafted vessel to carry it. There have been accounts across time of individuals possessing such power. Although they pass away as sand, their relics of power remain as powerful artifacts that nations around the world would fight for. Hang on, let me get a drink of water. Okay, let's move forward. You walk up more stairs. You pause as you notice a stone carving of a person praying that is attached to the wall. There is something odd about it, but you can't put your finger on it. With caution, you continue up the stairs. You enter a strange room with a large globe centered about the room. There are windows that let the light shine through. You notice that there is a chest resting against the wall to the right. You also notice that there is another passageway like the previous room. Approaching the chest, you notice there is a lock fastening to it. With no key to unlock the chest, you decide to leave it alone. I remember there being a key in the webs of that giant spider, but I think in order to get it, I need to find a harp, like the book said. You study the globe attached to the floor surface. The craft is made of metal, and there is fine detail in the grooves. There are various markings and names scattered across the globe. It takes you a moment, but you find a marking of where you are, Aramor. You notice that there are some hand-drawn markings within the area made with black ink. There must be something close by that has interested the author of these markings. To add to the mystery, there are similar markings on other areas around the globe. You climb the stairs to find a wall ending your path. Above the end of the stairway is a hatch. You have made it to the top of the tower. Before you is a stone of power, resting upon an altar of rock. Dark vines have entangled the structure as if they were feeding off the energies of the stone. Your body begins to tremble as you stand before the stone. You definitely feel weaker up here, as if the stone is sapping away your energy. You turn and begin to exit through the hatch. To your surprise, you find it difficult to focus. You suddenly fall down through the hatch, it closing behind you. You hit your head and tumble down the stairs like a rag doll. With a broken neck, you struggle to live, only to die moments later. The adventure ends here. Okay. I have to find a way back to the well. Or at least find a heart. Nope, that's all the same. Go downstairs. Oh, wasn't there an outside here? Yeah, let's go outside. Ta-da! Okay, let's exit. Go back. Okay, let's go left. I think, yeah, the well. Yep, here's the well. And I believe we have rope. So we can actually climb down to get it. Let's quick save just in case. Grab the coin. There is no possible way you can obtain the coin. With this mine you turn and climb it alone. What? No, I got the rope. Dang it. I thought I had a rope. I thought I got a rope from the supplies. Hang on, let me go back and make sure I get it. So I went back to the grave because I remembered I had the flower. So without hesitation, you reach for the flower to give to the spirit. The spirit grabs the flower from your hand as you extend it to him. You feel a subtle breeze blow by as the figure fades away with the flower. A faint whisper dances about the air. I am free. At last. You feel a sense of relief within you and reach for the sword. You now wield this special sword. Awesome. But I still need to get the rope, so let me go and get the rope, and then I will come back to the well. And here's the rope. It was in the supplies of this room. You find some rope in one of the boxes. It feels strong to the touch and has minimal wear. You decide to take the rope. And I will be right back. Let's go to the well. Boop! Here we are. You walk for some time to find an endless field of grass. There is a stone well near the path. Got the well. Grab the coin. You pull out the rope you found earlier and fasten it to the well. You climb down with ease and obtain the coin. You struggle to pull yourself up and out of the well, but you do so successfully. You feel somewhat satisfied that you are one coin richer. Alright, and let me go all the way back to fight the spider now that I have the sword. Boop! Here we are! Okay, so I go through the far door and I should be fighting the spider in order to get the key that is in its web. The air is thick and the room is a mess of web and body parts. You notice that there are a couple items in the room that could be useful. If nothing else, there is a key on the ground that you will no doubt need. Before you can even act, a large spider falls from above. You have no doubt that it is hungry. Without hesitation, the spider attacks you. You pull out your sword and stab the spider as it lunges at you. Over and over again you stab the monster. Each time it squeals in pain. The spider flees into the darkness overhead. You hear it motioning about, possibly to strike again. You notice the key on the ground close by your feet. Before more trouble happens, you quickly grab the key and make it for the door. You feel you got what you need. There is no reason to go back in that room again. I was right. Okay, so it's either the key to the chest upstairs, which is more likely, or it's the key to the shed, which I'm not going all the way back to see. So let's go upstairs and open that chest. But I still don't know where to find the harp. Unless it's in the chest. The harp has to be in the chest. Yay! The lock clicks used and you open the chest. Yeah, I was right. You discover a small wooden harp resting on linen cloth. You take the harp and close the chest. I don't know if the sword would work on that stone, so let's go back downstairs and go through the door where the dog is. Okay, I believe it was the door ahead of us. Yep, it was the door ahead of us. Here we are. Before you can do anything, a large hound leaps in front of you. It doesn't look very vicious. You pull out the harp and begin to pluck at the strings. The hound begins to wag its tail. To your surprise, the beast walks away as if it were charmed by the harp. You never give it much thought how powerful music can be. Let's go to the right. You enter the cell on the right. You see a wooden table on its side, some debris on the floor, and a large hole in the corner of the room. Seeing nothing special, you motion toward the hole. You discover a passageway underground. Unfortunately, all you can see is fallen rock blocking the way through. Seeing that there is little you can do, you go back where you came. You open the door to find a skeleton positioned in the corner of the room. There is also a bed and some chains attached to the wall. You have no doubt this individual was locked up for a long time. Hang on a sec. Inspecting the skeleton, you notice a ring on one of the bone fingers. There is a faint glow of light emanating from the ring, as if it were magical. You may find such a ring useful. You take the ring and put it on with a perfect fit. The one ring to rule them all. Seeing that there is nothing of interest here, you leave the cell. Okay, now let's go up. So that maybe with the sword and the ring? We'll see. Let me go up and then do a quick save. And then see if we can face that thing. Oh, wait a minute. Let me save here. Wait, what if the ring has something to do with the globe? You study the globe. Nope, okay. Let's open that. Let's destroy it. You grasp your sword with a firm grip and swing with your might to destroy the stone. The sword explodes into pieces as light bursts from the stone. You tremble in shock, and the stone begins to feed off your fear. You can feel your life slipping away, and you fall to the ground. Okay, so there must be something else I need to do. Let me go back to the save game, and I'm going to look up a guide. Yes, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look up a guide and see what I missed. Okay, so I dived into the lake, which is just past the grave, and remembered I had the sword, so I can fight the fish. I completely forgot about the fish. You grab your sword and hold it close, pointed at the fish. The fish swims at you with haste. Just as it gets in range, you thrust the sword into the top of the mouth. The sword penetrates and goes through the forehead of the fish. It struggles about in pain as blood filters through the water. You pull the sword out and the fish retreats out of sight. You doubt it will live long. With the fish no longer a threat, you make your way to the orb. Holding it in your hands, you feel it vibrate as if there is energy inside it trying to break loose. This must be important. You exit the lake with your orb in your possession. Now that I have the orb, maybe it will let me enter the tower. An invisible barrier. Must be some sort of magic. No, the orb didn't help. So I inspected the fountain, and it says this. You pull out the coin you found and toss it into the water of the fountain. The coin disappears with a subtle splash. The water then fizzles for a moment, quickly returning to a lifeless state. Surely this must mean something. And that got rid of the magical barrier, and it let me through. Huh. Let me quick save, and let's see what the spider is up to. Oh, no, can't see the spider again. I kind of have a guide like next to the game, which I'm following. Yeah, the stone pillars. Okay, let me go back to the stone pillars. That orb probably has something to do with the stone pillars. Yep, see the circular in it. You stand before the large stones, arranged in the shape of a circle. In the center is a stone with what appears to be some sort of slot or hole. No doubt about it, something is meant to be placed here. You remember the orb you found on the floor of the lake nearby. You place the orb into the slot carved into the center rock. The stones that surround you begin to glow. The light radiates and grows brighter. With a flash of light, your surroundings change. The ground no longer is grass. The newly discovered floor appears to be very old, as if crafted by somebody long ago. Rubble and stone near the edges of the platform also hint that this is an ancient place. Looking onward at the end of the pathway is a fountain of light. There seems to be no beginning or end, an endless power steadily flowing. You are amazed at such sight. Let's approach it. The light intrigues you and you walk towards it. Rays of light brush about you as if they are seeking to break away from its home. You remember the ring you have found and point it toward the light. Your hand trembles as the light flows into it. Before you can think, the ring begins to burn and stumble back. Light shines brightly from the ring. You notice a subtle warmth to it as you observe. You feel that you accomplish what you must do here. You pick up the orb. With the orb back in your possession, you walk back toward the trail. Okay, now I can destroy the stone. So, let's go. Let's go destroy the stone and get rid of this darkness. But first, I am exploring the field, and it turns out that I can try and tame the unicorn. The soothing calm comes over you as you listen. The unicorn comes into view and stops before you. The unicorn glares at you and you begin to hear a faint voice in your head. Human, have ear for my words. A great evil has gripped these lands, and it has rendered me powerless. You must find some way to stop it. I wish I could help you, but without my full power, I can do little. The fate of this land depends on you. Before you could speak, the unicorn turns and runs off again. You realize that you are alone to complete this quest of yours. This is no longer about saving your farm. You must save the whole land from the spreading darkness. You turn back as you question what you should do next. So now let's go destroy the stone and maybe we can see the unicorn again. Here we go. Your body begins to tremble as you stand before the stone. You definitely feel weaker being up here, as if the stone is sapping away your energy. You stretch forth your fist and point the ring at the stone. You can feel a resistance, as if the stone is trying to defend itself. You try to keep hope and focus on the ring. A burst of light shoots out from the ring, penetrating the stone. You feel the very air shake about. The ground beneath your feet begins to vibrate. The ring becomes heavier to hold in place, but you know that it is working. You feel confidence and a sense of joy sweep over you. The light intensifies, nearly blinding you. The ground beneath you shakes violently, as if the tower itself was trying to stop you. What little fear in you becomes powerless as you focus on your task. Everything goes white, blinding you completely. A weird sensation comes over you, and you feel as light as a feather. You begin to feel a tingling sensation all over your body as you hone your senses. The feeling suddenly flees your body and you find yourself motionless. Everything is cold and your ability to concentrate begins to leave you. You open your eyes, witnessing what is left of the tower. You begin to feel something. Warmth. Light. It is coming back. You lack the strength to talk as the unicorn comes into view. Light emanates from the horn on its head. All you can do is smile as the creature approaches. The light intensifies. You may have saved the land, but the unicorn has come to save you. Your adventure does not end here. I believe that's the game. The art style was pretty interesting, especially it is certainly colorless, but I think towards the end of the game there should have been more color, and it was a nice and simple plot, a nice simple point and click game, free on Steam. Like I said, there will be a link to this game below. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it.